but I think that day, one of the worst predicaments that I've been in my life at that point, the experience from that has helped me, I think, through my whole entire career.
That is Master Sergeant Matthew O. Williams, recognized with a Medal of Honor for heroic actions in Afghanistan and the rescue of 4 critically wounded soldiers. The Medal of Honor is the highest award in the United States military, given to a very few select who've shown extraordinary valor. Of course, there are some incredible stories of courage behind those who've received the award. But many recipients have never rested on their laurels. They've been helping others to find their own measure of courage, to live life with the same selflessness they displayed on the fields of battle.
I wear it because I want people to see a message that there's a different way to live your life, caring for others more than yourself.
Special Forces combat medic and Vietnam veteran Gary Bykirk was presented with the Medal of Honor by President Richard Nixon in 1973. On the battlefield, badly injured and unable to walk, Bykirk still braved enemy fire to save wounded soldiers. He credits a 15-year-old named Deo who befriended his team.
I said to him, Deo, you have to teach me how to survive in the jungle. And he laughed and he said, I don't want to teach you how to survive. I'm going to teach you how to live in the jungle.
Surrounded and badly outnumbered, on April 1st, 1970, the ground assault came.
After being shot the first time, the next thing I remember was Deo picking me up and carrying me around. Everything that I did, continuing to help others, I did only because Deo was able to carry me.
Then Deo laid down his life for his American friend.
We heard a rocket coming in. Deo rolled me over and laid on top of me to protect me from the rocket blast, and he was killed by that blast. I have a new definition for courage, and that courage is just love in action.
In its 157-year history, the Medal of Honor has been presented to just over 3,500 individuals, nearly half for actions in the Civil War. Today, there are only 69 living recipients. Bykirk and others are taking their message to schools as part of the character development program.
Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength.
Designed to teach values like courage, commitment, sacrifice, and integrity to students K through 12.
Flowers and other things have been laid against the walls.
During the COVID-19 lockdown, their mission continues online.
Here he is. My grandpa, I ask. Dad nods. Your grandpa.
Bykirk's lesson came from the wall, about a father and son who visit the Vietnam Memorial.
And the tears of families waiting for loved ones.
96-year-old Woody Williams also participated.
We push an empty chair to the table.
The World War II veteran read a story about a seat at the dining table, left empty to acknowledge those missing in action.
There are and will always be those individuals who are willing to give all of themselves.
Williams received his medal from President Harry Truman in 1945. He was recognized for actions against Japanese forces at Iwo Jima. As his fellow Marines were cut down, Williams used flamethrowers to attack. Character, he says, can overcome the deepest fears.
You're not born with character. Somebody has to teach that. Once you get character established, then you build certain foundations within yourself that sets your value of what life is all about.
That opens the door for everyone to be a better person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is no restriction.
Moyna vowed to do everything she could for the soldiers, to remember them.
The society also recognizes civilians who showed extraordinary courage through its Citizen Honors Award, like middle school counselor Molly Hudgens.
I feel like it represents the teachers and educators that we have lost to school violence, and it gives me the opportunity to share their stories and also to talk about their heroism.
Hudgens was tested in 2016 when a 14-year-old brought a loaded weapon to school.
Even though I was afraid, I still had to try to manage the situation. We had a school full of students and staff. I knew that really the only thing that stood between him and them was me.
Hudgens spoke with the boy for 90 minutes before he surrendered.
I remember telling him what's right is never easy, but it's still right, and he did that. So I'm not sure exactly what his future will hold, but I'm so grateful that he is going to have a second chance.
How many of you have obstacles in your life?
They are teaching by example, that living a life of significance is achieved by putting others first.
When they created the day of July 4th, so many, many years ago, that it was a day to celebrate the great values that we have in the greatest country.
For CBS This Morning Saturday, Catherine Herridge, The Pentagon.
And our thanks to Catherine for that story. Michelle, I love what Molly Hudgens, that teacher who received the civilian honor, said. She said, well, you know, what's right is never easy, but it's still right.
That's right. And being honored and then sharing other stories about what they've done to contribute, I love that too.